Thank you very much. So Helen's asking, as gender is one of the key categories to help identify and sex hormones influence bone, how will this affect identification of trans men and women? Will there be some blurring of characteristics, and taken further, could you even tell someone who is genetically one sex but appears as another?
That's a really good and a really interesting question. So that sex and gender are two different things in our world. Sex is the definition of your genetic predisposition. So 2 X chromosomes or an X and a Y, and that for us determines sex. Normally what happens is that particular genetic connotation sets off a set of biochemical processes in your body as you're growing. And in the fetus, if you have an XY chromosome, you get a little surge of testosterone, particular parts of soft tissue fall away and other parts develop, which is why you get the external and the internal genitalia. Those are based on biochemistry, but initiated by a switch that was genetic. So that at birth, when you are born, the midwife has a look down in the area that's going to be covered by your nappy and decides whether if there's a little appendage there, then you're a boy, and if there isn't one, you're a girl. And that's the basis on which sex determination is generally made at birth, is a visual inspection of external genitalia. What then happens is you go through a surge of hormones in puberty, and you get an overproduction of testosterone that creates a very masculine pattern of a body, or you get a surge of estrogen, which gives you a particular feminine approach to a body, whether that's in the bones or it's in the soft tissue. And we know what these appearances are. So we know what a testosterone-driven skeleton looks like and what an estrogen-driven skeleton looks like. It doesn't mean that you are male or female, but it's what the biochemistry is doing to the bone. Now, if you were a genetic male, for argument's sake, and you developed normally as a male, in this country, hormone replacement therapy in terms of transgender tends not to happen until after puberty. And that causes a problem in some sectors where they want actually to give hormones before puberty because you get a more successful outcome for a trans individual. If you wait to administer the hormones after puberty, what you have is an individual who is genetically male, has developed as a male, but is now taking doses of estrogen. And that isn't going to affect the skeleton particularly, but what it will do is it will affect the cartilage. And so you get the cartilage turns into bone in a different way if the predominance is estrogen or testosterone. So sometimes, particularly in the chest plate, we can pick up on the costal cartilages whether we've got a pattern that's saying, hold on a minute, this is an unusual pattern, this is a very masculine pattern that's got a very female pattern on top of it. And in a particular case I talk about, it was a transgender person. And so it isn't black and white, it isn't easy. Obviously, if you took the alternative hormones before puberty, then what we will see is a skeleton that develops as in relation to the hormones that are given, because they will be in such a significant dose. I don't know if I've been terribly clear, because it is very complex. And the answer is, it is a very complicated subject.
I thought that was very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So a few people